appreciate you guys for tuning in to another Chris show. You guys know why you're here though, so let's get into it. So Pusha T dropped a song last night called Diet Coke in preparation for his new album. And as we know of Pusha T, he has a long history with Drake. But a lot of people seem to be misconstrued or do not understand where this really started. This actually goes way back into the 2000s. This involves Lil Wayne, Birdman, Clips, Pharrell. You got a little bit of Jay-Z and Kanye. You have Common that's in this mix. There are a lot of moving factors that go into this beef. So what I'm gonna do for you guys today is give you a complete timeline of where this started to where we are today. And if, you know, Pusha T sends some shots at Drake in this album, maybe it'll lead into something else going forward. And of course, if that does happen, I'll drop the video and give you guys the content when it does. But before I get into all of that, I want to give you guys a background on my history with Drake and Pusha T. So with Drake, I followed Drake all the way back to Degrassi. Like, I watched him. He was Jimmy in the wheelchair. So, you know, I have a long history with Drake, but I also have a long history of Pusha T. And I started getting into rap the late 90s. Some of the people I first listened to was DMX, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne. And then, you know, of course, from listening to Lil Wayne, I would listen to Big Timers. And, you know, the Big Timers dropped What Happened to That Boy that featured Clips. And that introduced me to Clips. And then they dropped Grindin', and I've been following them ever since. So like I said, I have a long history with Drake. I have a long history of Pusha T. So when it comes to this beef, I don't really pick any sides. I want both rappers to be successful because I like and appreciate both rappers. So I just wanted to get that picture clear before we get into this complete timeline. So if this happens to be your first time watching Chris show, maybe after the content that I deliver, you could become a loyal subscriber. You'll turn on the notification bell for all my videos so you could like and participate in the comment section. The question I have for y'all in the comment section of this video: did you pick a side with this beef? You can also answer what made you a fan of Drake, what made you a fan of Pusha T. Was it the Clips? Has any of this beef that transpired has made you stop being a fan of one or the other? I would love to know in the comment section. But enough of that, let's get into this beef. Let's rewind all the way back 20 years ago to 2002. This is when, like I said, I was kind of first introduced to the Clips. So they were featured on Birdman's hit What Happened to That Boy, and Pharrell produced that song. So normally what you think is just a normal hit, normal song, everybody gets their piece of the pie. So what ends up happening is Birdman does not end up paying Pharrell for the beat. Pharrell, you know, he's a cool and chill guy, so he didn't really say anything or make a bigger deal out of it than he should. But that's the first instance in this timeline. So now that happened in 2002. We're gonna fast forward to 2006. So in 2006, Lil Wayne was the cover star for Vibe magazine's April issue, and in that issue, he was wearing Bape. So Pharrell and Clips, they were the ones that really originated rocking Bape, but when Lil Wayne rocked Bape to people, it became acceptable and cool. So I'm gonna give you that information. So that happened in April. So then we fast forward to May 23rd, 2006, and Clips drops the song Mr. Me Too. And in this song, they send a complete and obviously subliminal at Lil Wayne. Let me read you this one for you. So No Malice, the other performer in Clips with Pusha T, obviously Clips isn't anymore, but you know, back at this time in 2006, No Malice says, wanna know the time, better clock us. Niggas bite the style from the shoes to the watches. So you know what I'm saying? It was a clear shot of Lil Wayne for how he was rocking Bape when Clips and Pharrell started it first. So then Lil Wayne has an interview later in the year where he addresses the subliminals that the Clips sent in Mr. Me Too. Now let me quote Lil Wayne word for word on this. I don't see niggas like that. You talking to the best. Talk to me like you talking to the best. I don't see no fucking Clips. Come on, man. Wheezy, man. They had to do a song with us to get hot, B. What happened to that boy? Come on, B. Don't do that, dog. This is a fucking legend you're talking to right here. 14 years, B. How many years them niggas been around? So that's what Lil Wayne had to say about the Clips. And then this is what he had to say about Pharrell. Who the fuck is Pharrell? Do you really respect him? That nigga wore Bapes and y'all thought he was weird. I wore it and y'all thought it was hot. Come on, man. Come on now. The nigga walked around with niggas that looked like you. Y'all thought he was crazy. If I did it, y'all gonna think these niggas are killers. That happened. That transpired. That to me is the true spark of the beef. How so it'll transcend years later. Now, many are wondering, why didn't anything really pop off from 2007 to 2011? But in between that time, Clips was having label issues, and it really wasn't able to be sorted out until Pusha T signed with Good Music and Kanye West. That's very important because that's gonna feed into what a lot of this transpires later. So now we're in 2011. We're in May 20th, 2011, and Drake drops the song Dreams Money Can Buy. Now, Drake is a rapper that is the king of being able to send subliminal shots. Let's just be real. And in this song, Drake says the following: "Ooh, I never seen the car you claim to drive," or "Shit, I seen it, you just ain't inside. And I feel like lately it went from top 5 to remaining 5. My favorite rappers either lost it or ain't alive." Now that bar upset quite a few rappers. It upset Kanye, it upset Jay-Z, and it upset Pusha T. Because if you do not know Drake's background or history, Drake has definitely been a huge Clips fan. He even bought him an autographed microphone from them. That's gonna come into it later. But just to let you know, Drake was definitely a big fan of all three of those artists. So it could be a shot at any of them. That's why Drake is the king at subliminals, you know? So that happens, and then, you know, Watch the Throne drops in 2011, and Kanye and Jay-Z was on their A game. So they dropped Otis July 20th in 2011. Kanye addresses Drake's subliminal. Let me read it for you guys. "They ain't seen me cause I pulled up in my other Benz. Last week I was in my other Benz." Okay, clearly addressing Drake about "I ain't never seen you in your car." Now you attacking who signed Pusha T, who Pusha T is very grateful for, in Kanye West. You might have thrown a little bit of a shot at him. Things are starting, it ain't necessarily fire or full-on beef at this point with Drake and Pusha T, but there's little sparks, you know, it's getting a little ignited. And then also in between all of that, Drake was mad that Kanye and Jay-Z dropped Watch the Throne in the first place, because him and Lil Wayne were planning on doing a joint album, but Kanye and Jay-Z, either they might have heard it, they might have beat him to the punch. Let's have that in mind. There's a little more tension because of that as well. So now we're gonna fast forward to September 26th in 2011, and then Pusha T drops Don't Fuck With Me, Dreams Money Can Buy freestyle. And so Pusha didn't directly call out Drake. He kind of did the, "Oh, you're gonna do a subliminal, I'm gonna do a subliminal as well." Let me read you what his subliminal was though. "Rappers on their sophomores acting like they boss lords. Fame such a funny thing for show when niggas start believing all them encores." So Drake dropped Take Care, his second album, in November. So in between all of that, Drake has been dropping the singles, getting people prepared for the album. So Pusha's been hearing some of that. So he took a jab there, which is quite obviously taking a shot at Drake. Who else would he be saying with this line? You know how rappers, "I ain't talking about him," but we know you're talking about him. So then Drake drops the full Take Care album November 15th, 2011. During that, he takes a shot at a good label mate, Common. So you taking a shot at Kanye, potentially Pusha T. That's three members of Good Music. So at this point, Drake, like I said, he is starting a little fire. But what Drake said in the ride, let me read it for you guys. "You niggas getting older. I see no threat in Yoda. I'm out here messing over the lives of these niggas that couldn't fuck with my freshman floater." So a lot of people seem to believe this was about Common, and a lot of it was because of Serena Williams. Whatever it was, Common felt a certain type of way that on December 20th, 2011, he dropped a diss, Sweet. Now, usually I've been saying quotes or lyrics or bars from the song, but Sweet is just completely a full-on diss about Drake. So if you want to listen to that, just listen to it entirely. I'm not going to quote a full song, but just know Common was pissed and he was going in at Drake. Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with Pusha T? I'm about to get to that point. So then Common dropped his diss. Drake responds on a track with Rick Ross, Stay Scheming, January 6, 2012, and Drake sent some clear shots at Common. Let me read it for you. "It bothers me when the gods get to acting like the broads. Guess every team doesn't come complete with nigga like ours. That's why I see no need to compete with niggas like y'all. I just ask that when you see me, speak up, nigga, that's all. Don't be ducking like you never wanted nothing. It's feeling like rap change. It was a time it was rugged. Back when if a nigga reached, it was for the weapon. Nowadays niggas reach just to sell their record." So he's implying that Common is calling out Drake so he could sell records, this, that, and the other. He took his shots point blank. And then Common responds 3 days later with his Canada Dry diss. And once again, Common just sends a whole song about him. Drake does his 1 or 2 subliminals in between his raps. Common just went went full on it. And I'm gonna be real with you, I thought Sweet was a good diss. I was not the biggest fan of Canada Dry. If you guys want to listen, if I'm wrong, maybe you fucked with it, it is what it is. Basically, they took their shots and they squashed their beef, but in between all of this, Pusha T, being the opportunist, dropped a Sweet freestyle January 10th, 2012. So he started like, okay, Drake, you want to send these little shots? You want to come at my label mates? This, that, and the other? He dropped a freestyle. That was just the beginning. Now, for me, the full-on beef fully starts when Pusha T drops Exodus 23:1. He drops this May 24th, 2012. So then on this song, like he said, it's mostly just completely taking shots at Drake, but he made it be known that he was talking about Drake when he said this line right here. Contract all fucked up. I guess that means you all fucked up. You signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to three niggas. Now that's bad luck. So that's definitely, you can't deny it's a shot at Drake. It's a shot at how Drake signed to Lil Wayne, who signed to Baby, who the situation with Young Money was always sketchy when it came to money or how things were distributed. So Pusha T throwing some salt on the wounds and, you know, igniting them. This is when I say it's a full-on beef. And the reason why I say it's a full-on beef, because that same day Lil Wayne goes to Twitter and tweets, fuck Pusha T and anyone that loves him. So, you know, at that point, this is a full-on beef. They already know. The shots have been said. They had these subliminals back and forth, but now it's just full-on. We know who it's about, you versus us. Let's get it on. So now Drake's honestly next big response was on when he dropped Nothing Was the Same. He dropped Tucson Leather. That was the intro song. He dropped Nothing Was the Same September 24th, 2013. So this is what Drake had to say on this song. He said, I'm just as famous as my mentor, but that's still the boss. Don't get sent for. Get hype on tracks and jump in front of a bullet you wasn't meant for. He also said, bench players talking like starters, I hate it. He's basically saying, don't come at Wayne. You ain't even on his level, let alone my level. You a bench player talking like a starter. So he's calling out Pusha T's credentials at this point, you know. So things, it ain't gonna fizzle over. It's only gonna escalate from here. So then in 2016, Pusha T keeps the freestyle going with his HGTV freestyle. He drops this freestyle October 24th, you know, like I said, in 2016. So 3 years went in between. So the beef kind of died down for a little bit. But as you already know, it's gonna completely pick up full steam in 2018. If you were ignoring music there in 2018, that's on you. Pusha T sends another shot in 2016. Let me read you his shot. It's too far gone when the realest ain't real. I walk amongst the clouds so your ceilings ain't real. These niggas Call of Duty cause their killings ain't real. With a questionable pen so the feeling ain't real. So he's clearly talking about how Drake has some ghostwriters. He's talking about maybe he's on So Far Gone. He's just saying he ain't real, but like I said, these aren't no more shots. This is, like I said, full-on beef. It's only getting worse from here. So Pusha T dropped that freestyle October 24th. So Drake responds 5 days later on Two Birds and One Stone. What Drake responded is, but really it's you with all the drug dealer story. That's gotta stop though. You made a couple of chops and now you think you Chapo. And then he also said, you middleman in this shit, boy. You was never them guys. I can tell cause I look most of you dead in your eyes. And you'll be trying to sell that story for the rest of your lives. Drake also was addressing Kid Cudi in the song, but Kid Cudi really doesn't have anything to do with it. So if you guys want to look into it or go into that, that's a whole nother story or a whole nother video. But yeah, Drake was out there for blood at this point. So then the feud is no longer a feud. It's just a full-on beef when Pusha T drops Infrared May 25th, 2018. He is not messing around. He literally just went ham on Drake. So like I said, it's one of those ones where I can't even just read a quote. You just need to listen to the full song. I can't break everything down about it, but shit got real. The one line I will say, just, you know, just to give you guys something, he goes, it was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin. You know what I mean? He's questioning Drake's penman skills still. Like I said, you need to just listen to the full song, listen to the full album. Pusha T was out for blood. Daytona was just a good album. Infrared was a really good song. So then that same day, Drake fired his own shots and he dropped Duppy Freestyle. And basically on his freestyle, he was just talking about how, so let me just go, what do you really think of the nigga that making your beats? I've done things for him I thought that he never would need. Father had to stretch his hands out and get it from me. I pop style for 30 hours and let him repeat. So basically he's talking about, I'm ghostwriting for your boy and you out here taking shots at me. What you really about? Now to me, is that really that great of a diss or anything like that? I want to say no, because he didn't have that much information on Pusha. Drake continued this still take some shots. He was, like I said, when I brought up the microphone earlier, he was talking about, so he had a signed autograph microphone from the Clips, but it faded. And then he said that's been resembling what's been happening lately, basically claiming that Pusha T fell off. So like I said, Drake's, they both being petty. They both taking these shots on shots on shots. So Drake ended his attack by requesting to be paid by Pusha T and Kanye for the publicity. And then Pusha T responds on Twitter. Pusha T said, send the 20 for the invoice. Then Drake goes on Instagram and requests 100,000 as the invoice for good music for promotional assistance and career reviving. Basically saying, revitalize your career, Pusha T, so you're welcome. Drake did that. That was a big mistake. Pusha T drops the story of Adidon, and in this, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like, it was the first time I ever seen Drake just like get his ass beat. Like, it was just bad. He brought up you hiding a child. He brought up the fact that his mama can't find no man. Things start to change. People are like, Drake is literally taking an L. How Drake approached it afterwards. He started acting like, man, Pusha T took it too far, talking about my parents, this, that, and the other. This all boils down, like I said, this is a whole summer of everyone like, damn, Drake really just took an L. So then on The Shop, you know, LeBron had his show on HBO. Drake appeared on it. This is October 13th to talk about the situation. Let me just read you some of the quotes that Drake had. I knew something was going to come up about my kid. They had to add the deadbeat dad thing to make it more appealing. And then he also basically added Kanye West was giving Pusha T ammo. And then because Drake sent a picture to Kanye, I'm having trouble with my son's mother. And then he helped him with the song March 14th, you know, off Scorpion and all of that. So shortly after Drake's appearance on The Shop, Pusha T visits Joe Budden's podcast. And on that podcast, he was basically saying he got all of his information from 40. 40 is sleeping with a woman who he talks to her daily, 5-6 hours a day, and ultimately speaks about how he's disgruntled about certain things, notoriety and things involving Drake in his career, and so on and so forth. With that also came the fact that Drake has a child. With that also came the trip that everybody took to go see the child and bring him gifts and all this information. She divulged this information. That's where it came from. And then he just went on to say that he can't be in the studio when Drake's there. So the whole Wyoming thing and this, that, and the other, Pusha T was just refuting it. Never happened. It's not true. So this is how it is. Like I said, the beef reached a tipping point. Pusha T dropped Infrared. Drake dropped Duppy Freestyle. But the Story of Adidon was just the nail in the coffin. Like I said, Drake's energy changed. It wasn't the same. So then in November of 2018, this is still the same year, Pusha T just, you know, he's doing his little victory row. He does a show in Toronto. So during this performance in Toronto, first off, Drake bought around the first few rows, so it looked like it was empty there. And in the meantime of that, he also had people throwing beer, water, and paint at Pusha T. Then it came to the point that 3 people tried to roll up on the stage with Pusha T. He had to end the show early. 4 people had to go to the hospital. It was just a hot mess. And a lot of people want to seem to believe that Drake was the cause of it. But you know what I mean? You're in Toronto, you're in his show, and then that apparently happens. So clearly it was Drake. You know what I'm saying? He's still not over this beef at this point. That's only going to ignite Pusha T to keep the feud going. So then we're going to fast forward to August 2019, and Rick Ross is trying to drop his Maybach 6. And in between him trying to drop this Maybach 6, he was going to try and have a song with Lil Wayne and Pusha T on it. But Pusha T's verse was taking shots at Drake and Lil Wayne. And then when Rick Ross heard it, he took the song off. He was just like, I'm not trying to have that energy and vibes. But what Pusha T was gonna say was, crown on these clowns, it's like you colored they nose. We taking skill set or popularly pose. When you speak truth to power, your popularity grows. So then Pusha T goes back to Joe Budden's podcast and he's talking about, bro, we're here to rap. That's what I'm here for. We all have to do what we do best. I have to do what I do best. The next guy gotta do what he do best. It's lanes for everybody. It's part of the game. I can't complain about it. Rick Ross is just basically saying he was looking at the bigger picture. Lil Wayne submitted his verse first. Rick Ross was trying to move the two closer, but then when he saw the verse from Pusha T, he realized it wasn't gonna move him closer, and that's why he chose to omit the verse. So then we fast forward to December 2019. On Christmas Day, Drake interviews with Rap Radar, and Drake basically admitted it was his first loss in the competitive sport of rapping. So Drake was being a little like, you know, I took my L, it happened. It is what it is. I'm still on top though. It's only my first L. How many times have I done this? You know, that type of stuff. So he also said in the interview he has no desire to patch things up with Pusha T, and he was also just basically going to say, I don't like his music because I don't believe it anymore. When I was a kid I believed it, but now as an adult and knowing him and knowing that, I know that's not how he moves basically. So he's just basically saying, yes, I lost, but I'll never be cool with Pusha T again, and I'm not a fan of his music. And Drake still claims that he's given him some popularity in these up and coming years, but it is what it is. So the last tidbit of this beef for right now, like I said, we started way back in 2002. Now we're gonna be up to July 2020. So Pop Smoke, you know, released a posthumous album, and Pusha T was gonna be featured on this posthumous album. In July 2020, Pusha T took more shots on a leaked Pop Smoke track. Like I said, Pop Smoke, he unfortunately passed away, so they were gonna do a posthumous album. It was for Shoot for the Moon, Aim for the Stars. Pusha T had this to say about Drake. You know reality bites. It's chess, not checkers. Those empty threats only sound good on your records. If the patio is not followed by blocker, it's like Mark for Def Screwface without the chopper. Let him rush the stage when you made like Sinatra. And he also referenced that, hey, I might move to Drake's hometown. But either way, I feel like some people are gonna be like, why is Pusha T still carrying it on or doing this? But Drake sent people to have him handled in Toronto, so I feel like he has every means to continue justifying the beef. If Drake wanted to end it, he should have never did that. You can't start something and then want to end it on your terms, because beef don't work like that. And then also, so Pusha T on that song, apparently Young Thug and Gunna were on the song too, and they weren't really happy that Pusha T was going to be taking shots. They're like, that's not the vibe or energy we're trying to have, and if they knew about it, they would have made the changes on their behalf. And then basically Pusha responds by basically saying Drake was the reason that Maybach 6, that Rick Ross song, it was taken off. And then he also took a shot at Young Thug saying, I would never look or need your respect for what is it I bring to this rap game. Whew. So that was a lot of information. I understand a lot of you gonna be able to take it in. You might need to rewind it back. But after all this information that I gave you, who do you feel is in the wrong? Who do you feel is in the right? Do you feel this beef's gone on too long? Do you feel this beef needs to still go? Do you think Pusha T is gonna take shots at Drake on his new album? If so, do you think Drake will respond or just like let it be or move on? Also, who do you think's in the wrong or who's in the right? And like I said, Pusha T won the beef, but I wanted to give you guys this full breakdown, the full timeline. A lot of people give like quick rundowns or the things of the recent years, but I wanted to break it down from when it first started to where we're at today. But as you know, if Chris, I'm gonna deliver hip-hop content for you on a weekly basis, sometimes twice a week. That's why you need to make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. This Chris, I'm out. This motherfucker.